Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Toni with us from BlueLion. Hey, Toni, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
So, Toni, give me a little overview about your business. What do you guys do?
So BlueLion is located in southern New Hampshire, but we service all of New England, and we do human resource outsourcing. So we help small businesses to mid-sized businesses, anywhere from 1 employee to around 50, with all of their HR compliance and their needs.
I really love your concept because for most of my business friends, HR is just something we don't really pay attention to. We just don't. I mean, most of the time we start with our family and friends as employees. So we were joking, if you're my cousin, I can be mean to you, Toni, and you can maybe get mean back, or, you punch me in the arm or whatever. And then we go to lunch, it's family, that's how we treat each other.
Yep, of course.
Then we let in other people from the outside, and you can't treat them that way. So you can get into trouble really quickly if you don't have defined policies, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that a lot of times, and I mean, we're obviously in a very sensitive timeline when it comes to society as a whole, what's happening in politics, what's happening in government, what's happening in society. And with employment, it can become very gray area. And when we are small and we, like you said, hire a brother, a cousin, a sister, a wife, a child, we do treat them maybe a little bit more lenient. And then we hire other people, and there can become issues when it comes to discrimination, or they're uncomfortable because they don't want you calling them some kind of a name that you called your son. So policies are definitely important. A lot of people overlook them. But I like to tell people you can make policies that I like to call it common sense policy, where we're really drafting out some very light stuff that hits it where it's supposed to be, and also gives a little leniency to the business to make changes if necessary. But it's a lot of CYA, making sure that if a lawsuit comes, they're protecting themselves from being able to have to pay out, thousands and hundreds of thousands, depending on what it is, dollars.
But Toni, one of the other things that I've seen in my life is you get a policy from somebody else. You Google, HR policies, and you don't do a proper find and replace. So you say his name, and I've been there. But it's all kidding aside, it's enforcing it evenly, because I know I've worked in a company where it really depended on how much we liked you.
Yeah.
You and I can make the same mistake, and you know what? I really like Toni. She's amazing. And we just give you a pass. Kevin,
Yeah.
the guy's been on my nerves since I hired him. Here's my reason to get rid of him, and I fire him. And I've seen it happens,
Yeah, all the time.
Just Toni, come on, smarten up. Don't be silly. Kev, I'm sorry, we have to let you go. Can't do that, right?
No, and a lot of times people get frustrated with that because it's difficult to want to hold people accountable. And if you're a small business like the one I described, 1 to about that 40 mark, oftentimes maybe you're the founder, you're the owner, you're the president, and the people originally, that you hired have become friends. So being that, hard ass is a little bit harder to do, holding them accountable, because you don't want to burn any bridges. So the good thing about bringing on somebody like BlueLion and myself and my partners is that we can be that bad guy for you. So it's a little easier for you to call us up and say, hey, this is what's happening. What do I do? We ask the qualifying questions. Okay, is there anybody else in the business who's doing this? What have you done for them? So it's a little easier than just emailing into a 1-800 number, figuring things out, because we're gonna really dig deep. We're gonna say, okay, why did you let this person get away with it and you're not letting this person get away? And then we say, all right, then we need to adjust the policy. Does this really matter to you that much? Because sometimes people are like, oh, I need this policy because it's standard. Well, if it's not necessarily important to your culture or your business, you don't necessarily need anything. And we just really like to work with people on making sure we're customizing it to what are you really going to do so that you're protected. And when you ask us those questions, we have no problem coming in and making sure that we're keeping everyone compliant. It's a lot easier to be mad at somebody who's not there every day versus somebody that you're in a truck with, on a roof with, or sometimes just sitting next to for 40 plus hours a week.
Yeah, like I said, it's important to be consistent. But Toni, how about if I just have that occasional problem? You know what, the company's small, most of us get along, we play nicely, but every now and then something happens. Can I just bring you in for, the every now and then issue?
Oh, absolutely. We really have a bunch of different style platforms because everyone needs something different, from an office style business to a tradesperson to a single guy who's adding a couple people in in a truck for a roofing system. So we customize to an hourly service, to a hotline fee. If you want us actually on site with you as your HR person doing your onboarding and recruiting, we can do that. But a lot of companies are really small and they don't necessarily need us that consistently. So when we engage with them, we get to know them, and then we say, if you need us, call us and we can help you on an hourly basis. That way it's a little bit easier to budget for them, and also they know that they have us in their back pocket.
All right, I want to add one question. You can help me hire people?
So I don't recruit in the sense of, I'm not a recruiting station. I can't find people that don't exist. And recruiting is a struggle right now for everybody. But what we can do is hire people in the sense of, we can post on job boards, we can vet out quality candidates, we can interview with them, and then when they're good, we can pass them on.
That's what I was looking for, the help with interviewing, because I have one friend in particular, he can't hire. He hires the same wrong person over. And I'm like, we talked about this. This was the problem with the last person, and this is the exact problem with this person. You keep hiring the wrong person over and over again. So sometimes just having a third person. Toni, besides Kevin and Toni, what do you think? Sometimes just having someone else there to go, look, you just seem to like Toni for some reason. You're looking past Toni's flaws, so just, I find a lot of my friends just need that person to just verify, hey, because again, in a small business, you make a bad hire, it is a big deal, because you change the whole dynamics of your company and your office. It's bad if you make a mistake. So you can't get it wrong. That's what I tell you, don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong.
It's hard to fix it once you do. That's for sure. It's not, I know a lot of people like to use the words, we're at an at-will state, but when I tell people, I go, yeah, technically we are, you can hire and fire at will, but that doesn't actually negate the fact that somebody might try and charge you with wrongful termination. And even if you were right, the cost of a lawsuit is expensive. So making sure that you have all those T's crossed and those I's dotted is really important, from the hiring all the way to the termination process. And we can help with everything from A to B.
Cool. Toni, how do people reach out to you? How do they learn more?
If they want to, they can reach us at our website, which is BlueLionLLC.com. And then we are on Twitter, which is at BlueLionHR. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, and we are also on Instagram. So any platform that they'd like, they can reach out to us. And if they want to email direct, they can email info@BlueLionLLC.com.
Toni, I really appreciate taking a few minutes to jump on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thanks so much, Kevin. It's a pleasure.